We were going to hold an edge walk on top of your head because you're as tall as the CN Tower.
Come
Chef
on.
Michael Smith is back, everybody. The
World's tallest chef in the house.
freestanding instructor, and you're wearing Colin Quinn's shirt.
And you've got your I'm going to meet Michael Smith shoes on today.
Yes, I sure
don't
do,
you?
buddy.
Come on.
We are cooking amazing food. It's back to basics, 100 simple classic recipes with a twist, and we love that you're no fuss, no muss. It's easy, but baking is often hard,
And
even
often
for you seasoned chefs.
The toughest thing about making pastry is usually getting the fat into the flour, and that's why this method works so well. I've got some frozen butter here.
Why frozen?
Because when it's frozen, all you have to do is grate it. It's so much easier than all this cutting nonsense. And look, you just go like that and it's in. It's
like
done.
Parmesan cheese. I've always heard when baking it has to be room temperature butter. You got to set it out 2 hours in advance. And blah, blah, blah.
Not when you're making your pastry. And when you're making a butter tart, why not make a butter pastry to go with the butter tart? And that's exactly what we've done. We've rolled it out. You can see it there. And the whole idea of the book, of course, is that once you understand how easy it is to make a pastry like this, the sky's the limit.
So lightly greased. Did you use olive oil, or do you like the spray stuff?
No, you just spray that stuff on there. Who knows what's in there? Some kind of, who knows? I don't want to know. It's just in the can. That's enough.
Okay.
So
now, what is in the center?
Well,
because
these are butter tarts. You can see what they end up looking like. And for me, making a butter tart, there's a couple of key ingredients. First of all, I like to brown the butter. I love brown butter. There's a ton of flavor in there, well beyond just melting it.
Caramelizes?
Caramelize. Look at you. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Get the flavor into it.
I watch your shows, okay, Chef?
And then skip the corn syrup. Most butter tart recipes call for corn syrup, but corn syrup is a very bad ingredient. The world needs way less corn syrup. So, and we're in Canada. Why not use some good old-fashioned maple syrup?
I love that. The honest to goodness, straight from the earth stuff.
Yeah, and then you just sort of pour it right in. It's too easy. Anybody can do this at home.
You always make it seem easy. That's the thing.
Well, it is easy, and that really is the thing about cooking. You know, we're human beings, and we often confuse something that's unfamiliar with difficult.
Well, and baking seems to be such a tough science because you have to measure everything just so, and it's easy to mess it up, and then you get so upset with yourself. I remember once making my mom a great Mother's Day cake that someone had cooked on a show, and I could not duplicate it, and it just took me off cooking, or baking rather. But this is something you say anybody could do.
Well, and I think part of the strategy is understanding that you're not trying to make it the way I make it.
Yeah.
You're trying to make it your way, and however it turns out, the fact that you tried makes you a rock star.
Even if it
succeeded.
falls apart.
Yeah, and that's what the book is all about.
And then here you've shown a different spin on your original recipe, and this is what you do.
Yeah, these are little pumpkin pie tarts. So again, once you've learned how to make that pastry, it's so simple to make, then you can change the filling up a little bit. And those are basically little pumpkin pie tarts. There's a sort of a pumpkin seed crust on top of them, and both of those recipes are in the cookbook.
How beautiful would this be for the Thanksgiving dinner as an alternative to the regular pumpkin pie?
Yeah, and anybody can do this. I promise you can do this. I promise.
And we trust and believe you. He is one of the world's best, biggest celebrity chefs, so we'll take your word for it, and I'll try this recipe, I promise, for Thanksgiving. For more information, pick it up. It's Back to Basics with Michael Smith, and you can get it in stores or by visiting chefmichaelsmith.com, and follow him on Twitter at Chef Michael Smith without the I. Thank you.
And
cheers.
Before you know it, you'll be eating your own butter tarts.
He said it's hard to make the fat go into the flour, but it's not hard to make the fat go into the thighs, but it's worth it. Over to you.